that let's say you finish out Starfield.
Okay, so as far as I
It
know, there's going to be no like anything hard here. It's just literally like you do push buttons and watch the cutscene. As far as I know, I already did
here's
the final boss of the game.
here's hoping.
I've only read a few graphic novels in full in my life. Watchmen, I've read. I
Mhm.
did The Killing Joke, which I don't even know if that's a graphic novel because it's so short. I think I did
Uh,
Sin
it's
City,
it's it's sort of counts.
uh,
Um,
Batman Year One. Hey JS.
Dark. Year one I feel is better than the Dark Knight Returns, but the Dark Knight Returns is still in the all-time pantheon.
I have that one and have not finished it yet. Hey, right guy.
It's really tremendous.
That's the one that Batman v Superman was based on, I think,
Yes.
in the
Um,
loosest sense of the term.
yeah. Um, I will say though, like I said, one of my all-time favorites, definitely in the pantheon of all-time graphic novels, and it was my favorite costume to wear
Back in
in
the
Arkham
battle.
Knight. I felt that wearing the Dark Knight Returns costume was extremely on brand.
Always a pleasure,
It
Captain.
felt right.
Yeah, I watched the Madam Web trailer, Santi. I
Hello.
mean, I don't know. At least it's got a better. At least it's got a better hook than the Marvels. Like, at least it's got that Groundhog Day theme, which I don't mind in a movie, but it still doesn't look good.
The Marvels remains on track to make less money than Morbius. Tell me out.
Well, Morbius made a more $1 billion, so that's hard to beat.
Yes, that is correct. It made several trillion dollars. The world economy actually is based on Morbius now.
Ugh.
I miss those Morb memes.
Yeah, they were fun. Okay, so apparently all I have to do is do a space jump, and I will. Oh my shit! Oh. But apparently all I have to do is just a space jump, and I will automatically jump to the Unity. I
Wouldn't that
mean,
be funny if the space jump was just like in the just ending cutscene or some shit? And you're just sitting there like, wait a minute, I stopped playing and I was 30 seconds away from ending the game.
I mean, the issue with that, Tumbo, is that JSN barely ever plays outside, even in college. I don't know how good he would be on the outside. His skill set is definitely pure slot, so I'm definitely cautious about doing that. Like, maybe he'll learn from Lockett over the next few years.
I
Because
think that's
Lockett
pretty
was a
on
slot
brand
guy.
too. Right. I think that's pretty on brand too, you know. Najigbas love the slots.
Okay, we are. Oh, it's like the climax of Interstellar.
Right. The way you were looking around there was giving me motion sickness for a second.
I didn't know I was in control. I thought I was looking at myself.
Seriously.
All right, what's
You
up,
made
Rufus?
it. I hope you're enjoying the view. I never get tired of staring at it. Eternity. A thought occurs. Can anyone ever truly experience reality outside of oneself? All of time and space filters through a singular perspective. I am as much you as you are a part of everything. All points connect to here. When a star is born or dies, its existence beats through the heart of this place. The Unity. I have seen all you are, have been, and could be. Do you feel like you've lived a good life? Is there anything you regret? That's good. You will need that clarity for what comes next. In order to become Starborn, you must give the universe one last thing. Yourself. That intangible part of you. That something that makes you unique amongst the infinite will explode like a supernova. A part of you will fuse with the essence of this universe, while another part leaves it behind forever. Do you understand what I mean? This one final leap will change this universe forever, even as you leave it behind.
I mean, the thing is, Lockett can play in the slot too, so we'd really have to mix it up. So, I mean, I guess it's possible, but I do want to definitely be aware that JSN probably shouldn't be in the game more than 60% of the time right now because of what we have at the tight end spot.
Unknowingly, you just answered your own questions. For who creates things but creators? That is what they have been named throughout the endless circle of time. Are they one or many? Human or alien? Terrestrial or celestial? One day, you might even meet the creators, but not this day. As for the why, so that you could ask that very question, so that you could stand before me for time immemorial and delve into the mysterious of the unending cosmos.
I mean, Fant's playing fine, we just don't get him the ball as much as we could. Which, I mean, I guess that's okay. But he's on the field quite a bit, even when we're not necessarily using him, and I don't want to diminish the value of that, but he's obviously not going to be here next year, so while he's here, we got to figure out what we can do with him.
Much like the death of a star creates new kinds of matter, so will the part of your being
Yeah, I have no idea what the
fused
hell's
with
going
the
on in this
unity
game right now,
itself.
by the way. I think it's just
That
trying to
part
dump a bunch of
is
stuff
what
on you to
becomes
distract from the fact
Starborn
that it doesn't
and
make
crosses
sense.
into the multiverse. Through your
Oh
eyes,
my god,
it
there's
will be
nothing
as
I
if
love
waking up
like
from a dream.
when you watch a YouTube video
Walk into the gate of light,
that,
and you will become
unbeknownst to
Starborn.
you, you've watched before,
Everything will
but it
vanish,
just gets
and you
recommended
will
to you in
awaken
the
somewhere
algorithm
else.
and shit like that,
But that
similar to
isn't
other
your
videos you
only
watch.
potential destiny.
And you click on it, and then you
You can turn
realize you just
around,
scroll down to the comments
walk
that
away
you've
from
seen
the
this video
unity
before and
until
you've
the
left a
stars fade
comment.
away,
There's some
and
from a
you
few
will
years
wake
ago,
up
and you just
on
laugh
your
your
own
ass
ship
off as you read
in
it.
your
I
universe.
see I left a comment
You could live out
3 years
the
ago
life you have.
on this video,
I have enjoyed
100
speaking
seconds
to you
of
once again,
100 World War I
all of
firearms.
you. Every version that is yet to
And
unity
it's a
right
woman,
now.
Okay,
and
can we do this after I'm done with this game?
oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I mean, the trade
As you
wasn't about the
consider
players.
stepping towards infinity, I offer you a glimpse.
I think
into
the
what
players
will
were
happen
thrown in to make the
universe
salaries
you may
work.
be leaving. As the essence of who you are is spread throughout space and time.
I wasn't really thinking about the players that much. I mean, Fant's good, but he's not going
Your
to get
work
big
with
production
UC's
in this
death against the
offense.
Crimson Fleet is a triumph of law over greed. The UC establishes greater security throughout the settled systems. Travelers throughout the stars will be safer.
I mean, we tried to get Draymond, but Denver wouldn't do it. We tried to get Draymond in that trade. That's what they were saying this offseason, which would have been better than Shelby, I guess.
The Constellation membership who stays behind will in time publish their data about the discovery of the artifacts, the Starborn, and
I mean,
Unity.
12 man for life. Doesn't Oregon jump them at that
Space
point?
exploration across the settled systems is given new life as people search for home out there in the stars.
KJ Jefferson has not been good this year. He's had one good game against Florida. I've lost interest in him. He played way better last year. I don't know what the heck's going on. think his yard per carry average is like 2.9 or something. I don't know what the heck's going on. The good news is he's going to be cheap. You could probably get him in like the 6th round now. Alright.
Although you leave this universe behind, a new universe awaits you. Who will you be in this one? What choices will you
I think Kenny Pickett has like 3 career touchdowns. So that doesn't terribly surprise me. Okay. This looks kind of cool, I guess. I don't know. I think this is like... I don't know, it's kind of trying to be like the end of 2001: A Space Odyssey, but instead of just letting things be ambiguous, they're explaining every little thing. Which, I don't know. I don't know.
You know what's I don't know if you've seen this because it really is something special, but Stanley Kubrick actually did a series of interviews where he was trying to explain certain things about the movies that he made. When he was still alive, people were all like, well, I don't understand this, I don't understand that. So he actually fucking took the time to explain it to him.
Alright,
The
it's over. We beat Starfield. Game is over.
nice.
All we had to do was walk through a
Nice.
portal and the game is done. So now we sit here through what will probably be credits that take like 8 hours. But it's okay, we got nothing but time.
The ending of 2001: A Space Odyssey. What was going on there is that what he was trying to show is that the main character is essentially captured by the black monolith thing, and he's transported into what is essentially a zoo, where he actually spends the remainder of his life. But after he dies, they use incredible magic to just revive him. And that's when you see the whole...
The
When he
most
becomes-
common interpretation of 2001 I've seen is that he ascended to another plane of existence. Like he evolved into the
That's
alien species.
That's what a lot of people wanted it to believe, and it's what the sequel went off of, kind of that kind of concept.
Yeah.
But this was Stanley Kubrick explaining the thing. He was all like, when the environment that he's in, when he's kept there as an old man, and all that, it looks very weird and unsettling to us in terms of like, what the hell is that, like, the fucking room that he's in? And it's because it's similar to our attempts to recreate the environment that wild animals are supposed to be used to when we make a zoo. And it's all like, but to an animal that had been born in the wild and you just plop it in a cage in the zoo, even if it's in a lion exhibit, it's not gonna have a fucking clue what the hell's going on there. That's a deliberately artificial environment, and it's very similar there. It's like the furniture doesn't make a lot of sense. The interior decorating and the architecture, and it's like kind of weird and unsettling. But it's because it's what this higher life form thought of was the natural environment of the human being based off of their observations of Earth.
Why would they bring him
Recreate an
back to
environment that he
life
was used
instead
to.
of just getting another human? Would be my question. Because they can?
Essentially, yes, because they didn't want to risk bringing in another human, and they want to just keep studying him forever. So it's kind of awful when uh, Oh Introverted Tree, this was Stanley Kubrick's explanation of what the ending in 2001: A Space Odyssey was in an interview he was giving.
Yeah.
It kind of makes the ending of that movie horrifying, but at the same time understandable in a sense. Like, again, you have to imagine these as a higher life form that are as different from us as we are from other animals. Is that he thought it was an extraordinarily strange phenomenon. That's why their mission got sent out there to investigate it in the first place. It's much the same thing as like when a creature in the wild is like, wow, this cage looking thing is pretty neat. I wonder what the hell's going on there. And they just walk into the trap and get captured. They get taken back to the zoo. But that for David there is no escape. He dies and then they fucking revive him so that he can live out his life again in captivity, and he'll just be going through that forever as they continue to study him. Horrifying.
Well, that's
And he
wonderful.
also gave a number of other explanations too. One of the explanations for The Shining that I enjoyed and that I went off of was that when you see the ending of the movie, when it goes and looks at the photograph, that Jack Nicholson had been absorbed by the haunted spirit of the hotel. Um,
Hmm.
and that's why he showed up in the picture. But Stanley Kubrick, in an interview, was explaining the whole thing, and he was like, "No, what I was trying to say there is that it was kind of like a reincarnation sort of thing, where when you look at that picture, Jack never took the time to actually look at it. However, that was him in a past life. As he dies and gets reincarnated, the Jack's spirit, no matter what life he ends up having, he'll be drawn back to the Overlook Hotel. He'll be drawn back to that area, and that's why you had Grady was saying you've always been part of the hotel, is because as long as that area has existed, Jack in his past lives has always ended up there. And then it's all like, well, man, not only does that kind of suck because I like that concept of his essence being absorbed by the hotel, but why the hell didn't we have like why didn't Jack ever notice in the picture? That would have been an amazing scene.
Whoa, Sean Chiplock did a voice in this game. Wow, they did
Nice.
actually get one big ticket voice actor for this game. Wild. Huh.
Besides Troy Baker,
I think Troy Baker
voice.
costs too much now. Oh,
Yes.
Robbie Damon did a voice. There's another big one. Man, voices I don't even recognize. I don't remember that character. And what am I saying? I don't remember any of the characters in this game except for Walter Stroud because he has the same last name as CJ Stroud.
Exactly.
Hmm. Well, I am, in a weird way, happy that Kubrick did eventually explain what he intended with 2001.
Yeah, he did that with a lot of films. And as I was listening to these interviews, I'm all like, I definitely understand why these aren't exactly more common knowledge in terms of like anyone and everyone would have already heard these. It's not exactly like they're hidden or anything, but it's not exactly like they're celebrated and spread around because in a lot of different ways it kind of ruins the magic. But more to the point, his almost need to explain what he was trying to get across and what his thought process was as he was making these films again explains why they killed him for making Eyes Wide Shut. Because can you imagine what would have happened if he tried to explain the movie in an interview the same way he explained his other movies?
Mm-hmm.
Good God.
Yeah. I guess there's nothing to explain with Full Metal Jacket. That's a pretty straightforward movie.
Yeah.
I saw this clickbait video on YouTube earlier today. It was in my recommended. That said Baker Mayfield is the best quarterback of the NFC.
Not even the
He
best quarterback on his own team.
he is
Who's
playing better
trash.
than I expected for sure, but I mean honestly, like Dak is still there. I guess you're saying Kirk Cousins is crossed off because he got hurt. Yeah, Goff, Hurts. I'd still rather have Geno, honestly. I know Geno's not playing his best, but I'd rather have Geno. Um, Probably forgetting one or two, but
Yeah, when we looked at the yeah, Hal's pretty good too. But when we were looking at the advanced stats in that Geno video, Mayfield does place fairly high.
yeah, he is doing some things really well. But it's we're talking about half a
Saying,
season.
yeah, right. Saying he's the best in the conference, it's a little tough because you need to see more consistency for a longer period of time. And you also need to see the Bucks actually being competitive. Right now, it just feels like, maybe he's taking advantage of playing in a very weak division, but maybe that's not what it is at all. I'm willing to give him the benefit of the doubt going forward, but I would not call him the best in the conference. I think that's just a little premature.
Introverted Tree, I liked the game a lot. I don't know if the game is worth the hype. What I mean by that is, I personally really like games like this, games that play like this kind of action RPG shooter hybrid like Fallout. But this game doesn't really do anything that Fallout New Vegas, or I guess Fallout 4, didn't do. It's basically that game again, just in a different universe and bigger. Like, this game's way bigger than New Vegas because you can go to 8 billion different planets. But I don't think it actually adds anything. I don't think this is like, whoa, this is like playing this game is not like, whoa, it's like New Vegas, but it's been updated for a new generation. It hasn't been updated for a new generation. It's just the same type of game done in the same way with better graphics slightly and a much bigger world. But I personally really like games like this, and games like this don't come out that often. They don't. Like, I was personally disappointed in Fallout 4. So the last time we got a game like this that was that was actually a high level game was probably what? Skyrim. Because Skyrim came out after New Vegas, and then Fallout 4 came out, and that one let me down. And there really haven't been a lot of games of this nature since then. So I think the game is great. I don't know if the game is actually great. It's got some real problems to it, and like I said, it doesn't really add anything. But that doesn't bother me as much as it's going to bother most people. I'll put it that way. I think that everything I just said makes sense.
Yeah.
Oh, Todd Habercorn, the pervert chef from Danganronpa 2.
I mean, this is worth saying right here about Kirk Cousins and why I feel that pound for pound, in terms of just outright talent in the NFC right now, I think that Kirk Cousins is the highest quality QB.
What if he added like 10 pounds during his rehab from that injury? Like, that change your mind? Because then he'd
I'm
have more
out.
pounds.
Exactly. But as an example of what I'm talking about, Kirk Cousins has been injured uh, the last two Vikings games, and yet he still has more passing yards on the season, substantially more than Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, Kirk was having an amazing year.
Yes, he was. Hal's definitely up there. That's why I was trying to tell. Because right now, Hal has the most passing yards in the entire league. I know that passing yards is not like the be all end all fucking stat for QBs at
Yeah.
all, but I'm bringing it up because Hal is performing at an above average level all around, and he does deserve to get talked about. And that's why I was trying to tell Seahawks fans that couldn't be happy with the win. They're like, we should have dominated this team. And I'm all like, the Redskins are set up to be spoilers. They're set up to be dogs that you do not want to fucking have to play. You will beat them, but it will be ugly, and it will be close, and it will be aggravating to watch. That's
Yeah.
their role in the league this year. So like, you got exactly the fucking game. That it's the same exact game that the fucking Eagles got. Be proud of that. You know?
Basically. The Eagles should have lost to them, by the way. That first game, they got two really bad calls in their favor down the stretch.
Yeah,
Commanders should have won that game.
Eagles have been getting a lot of that this season. It almost feels like they want a Super Bowl rematch. Because I mean, Peace is obvious enough as it is with the fucking Taylor Swift shit. Plus how Patrick Mahomes is basically the most worshipped quarterback in the league now that Brady's retired. But good grief, the Eagles have been benefiting from so many strange, like, ref shenanigans. It's weird because you're not used to the Eagles getting that kind of benefit.
I don't know if you're aware of the controversy, Snacks, but if you were
Well,
in
which one?
charge, would you ban the the tush push?
Um, it's not exactly a huge deal because I mean, if it really was guaranteed yards, people would be doing it more often. But I think it looks extremely stupid. So, in terms of enhancing the quality of the game, just in terms of like people watching it aren't going to be disgusted, banning it is viable. But in terms of it being like an overpowered strategy, or oh, it's complete cheese. No one should do this. It should be banned. It should be illegal. Like, I don't think it's that big of a deal.
Yeah. I mean, the Giants tried to do it when they played us, and two of their players on the offensive line got injured on that play.
Which is hilarious. And again, for context, I say what I said, having been a Dolphins fan, where the tush push arguably lost us the game when the Eagles did it successfully.
It's going to
I
be an
still don't
interesting
think it's
conversation this offseason.
right. I still don't think it's that big of a deal. And if they do ban it this offseason, I'm going to be like, well, again, I get it because it's just fucking stupid to look at. It's like, get that shit out of here. But in terms of it being a too strong of a strategy or something like, if they get rid of it, they should get rid of it the same way that David Stern made it so the players had to wear a suit uh, when they show up in street clothes, and that they can't wear Allen Iverson shit. They should ban it for that, in that sense, as opposed to when they made the 5 seconds back to the basket rule, because Charles Barkley, Mark Jackson in the 1994 NBA Finals was just absolutely disgusting to watch. These guys would post up for the duration of the shot clock.
Right.
Anyway, so yeah, Starfield, woo.
Yeah, I mean, I like the game more than I think most people will. A lot of people are going to look at this and say this is just like Fallout New Vegas, but less engaging. And also, it's not 2010 anymore, so stop making games like Fallout New Vegas when it's not 12 years ago. But
Right.
it's not, again, it's not like we get games like this every year. It's not like this is a Call of Duty game where you get three of them every year.
Yeah. From having watched it, I think it's good for what it is. It's just that you need to know what it is. Is it's a very Bethesda style game. Why the hell are you doing this? He's so fucking angry.
Oh, did you see the Draymond Green stuff
You have to
from
be more
yesterday?
specific.
He got suspended for 5 games.
Yeah,
He choked
right,
out Rudy Gobert.
the fight.
Yeah,
Yeah, he was fined. No, it wasn't a fine. He'll miss from missing these games. $779,000.
yeah.
However, I don't blame him for doing what he did because it was a dumbass fight in and of itself. But Rudy Gobert, instead of trying to separate the two or anything like that, he just grabs Clay Thompson. So I'm like, yeah, I get it.
Mighty Do, welcome to the stream. I really liked Starfield. Yeah, I liked it more than I think most people will. That's what I will say. Like, I would put it in my Game of the Year race, but I don't think it should win Game of the Year. I get why it doesn't. For the same reason that I'm torn on Resident Evil 4 being in the Game of the Year voting. Because it's a great game. It's my favorite game this year, but it's a remake. Like, how can you remake a game and have it win Game of the Year? Like, shouldn't it go to something that's new, like Baldur's Gate?
Right. For Starfield, I feel like it was pretty shallow of a game in terms of what they were offering, what they were advertising, and it is extraordinary that these fucking credits are still going. Jesus Christ! But if not everybody can be Mass Effect, but like if you're going to go the route of doing a sci-fi space adventure, you can't just promise extraordinary amounts of freedom and opportunity and wonder, and then just make everything exceptionally shallow. It's like advertising that you've got a swimming pool that is, perhaps the widest swimming pool that you've ever come across, but it's only like an inch deep. Who cares?
What's Game of the Year?
It's a
My favorite game I played this year was Resident Evil 4 remake, but I think Game of the Year should be Baldur's Gate 3.
Yes. Whereas my favorite game I played this year was Baldur's Gate 3, and I think that also Game of the Year is Baldur's Gate 3. In terms of just the level of effort they put into it, I don't think anyone worked harder on making a game as excellent as they possibly could than Baldur's Gate. Whether or not it was your favorite game that you played is just up to personal taste, but personal taste should not be what they base Game of the Year off of. It should be stock standard, absolute excellence. In which case, there's only the one option.
Yeah.
TOTK looks great, but not a huge leap when it comes to a sequel.
Yeah, I really liked Tears of the Kingdom, but it did not
Okay.
deserve but it doesn't deserve to win Game of the Year, I'll put it that way. And honestly, as someone who liked Hogwarts Legacy, I don't think it deserves to be nominated more than any of the games that are. Like, it was good. I liked it a lot, but there were some real problems there that I don't think you had with most of the other games that were nominated. Now, I haven't played Mario yet, and I'm not that interested to because 2D platformers don't really butter my biscuit that much. I'll play it eventually, maybe. But yeah, like of the games that I played that are nominated, I think all of them were better than Hogwarts. Seems like Alan Wake 2 is better than Hogwarts. And yeah, it seemed like it was going to be a really it seemed like Hogwarts was going to be kind of the tallest midget for a little bit there. But then we got some really A plus games at the end of the year.
I think the best part of Hogwarts is when you did a new game plus and you were able to execute students in the hallways.
Like, honestly, I think Spider-Man's probably better than Hogwarts, and I'm not even like somebody who thinks Spider-Man should necessarily be a Game of the Year type thing. But I think Spider-Man's better. It would not surprise me if Mario Wonder is better. It's not really my thing. And again, Alan Wake 2 will probably be better. Now, Hogwarts not getting a single nomination is suspect, and there's clearly a little bit of an agenda there, but it shouldn't be nominated for Game of the Year, I don't think. Oh yeah, Dead Space Remake was great. I love Dead Space Remake. So earlier today, I was watching a streamer, very small streamer who I have been watching for a while, and Resident Evil 4, the original, was his favorite game for 15 years after it came out. It took 15 years for a game to beat out Resident Evil 4. And he's now played through the Resident Evil 4 remake, and he said he initially didn't want a Resident Evil 4 remake because he thought there was no point. But now that he's played it, he said, I feel like this remake has removed all need to play the original. Do you agree, Snacks? Would you agree with that sentiment?
Um, well, not entirely, because there are still some things that the original had that the remake doesn't have yet. They may add it later. But right now, there's at least one reason I can think of to play the original, which is the Plagas laser weapon. PRL 412, Plaga removal laser. Yeah, that weapon was just a hilarious meme weapon, that you get in New Game Plus and all that kind of shit. Not exactly, game ruining that it's not there or any kind of shit like that. But, you know, if you wanted to be, you know what, I'm gonna do a Plagas laser run, you'd have to play the original. You don't have a choice.
Once that stuff gets added as DLC, which I'm sure it
Which
will.
I feel it's almost certain that it will because they worked so hard on making sure that they could get separate ways out there. Um, I think they'll get there. It'll just take them a minute, but yeah, I'm sure they'll get there.
Let me check something here real quick. So yeah, the Game Awards, Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Mario Bros. Wonder, and Zelda Tears of the Kingdom are Game of the Year nominees. And then there are a bunch of side categories for stuff like narrative and art direction and performance by an actor or voice actor or whatever. It's kind of fun. It's like the Oscars, I guess. Well, the thing is, might do, there's like there's no such thing as an Xbox exclusive game anymore, right? Because everything on Xbox also goes to PC.
Correct.
So it's one of those weird things. No, I did not, Santi. I'm not sure. I'm not familiar with that. I haven't listened to it yet. So I think these credits have now been going for about half an hour now, if I'm counting correctly. So anyway, just so you guys know, after this is done, when these credits stop rolling, I am going to get off and then get back on Spider-Man because I don't want to start anything new right now. I just want to swing back into Spider-Man for a little bit. And then probably tomorrow. Well, not tomorrow because it's Thursday and I'm doing a show at 8.
Right.
But next time I'll probably start something new. I'm not sure what to do yet though. Like I was talking with Snacks about this after the stream went out last night. um Doom Eternal would be interesting, I think. And it's a very different shooter from like Starfield. So I'm not worried about burnout. I kind of want to play the rest of the games in the Fear series because I played the original Fear and I really liked it. But then I never got around to Fear 2 and Fear 3. Mix it up maybe with a little bit of Psychonauts. I really liked Doom 2016. I wasn't sure if I was going to be into that game or not, but I ended up liking it a lot. So I want to see if Doom Eternal holds up to it. I've heard that 2016 was better than Eternal, but I watched somebody stream it
Yeah.
a while ago and it looked like there was too much platforming for a first person shooter. That got on my nerves.
It got on my nerves too, man. Let me tell you.
I have not played a platformer in a while. So Psychonauts would be interesting. I don't really play multiplayer games, Introverted Tree. Like Dead by Daylight was the closest one. I like those asymmetrical horror games and co-op horror games more than like I did the Fortnite stream as a joke, right? And I actually got 2 victory royales.
Which was very amusing. Almost as amusing was that I literally couldn't connect to it. I was like, what the fuck's happening?
Snacks killed by Gavin Newsom.
Exactly.
What a shitload of fuck game.
Exactly.
Have you ever played Crash 4? No. I played the first 3 Crash Bandicoot games, and I think that's it. Really, you can pre-order the Suicide Squad game 7 months before it comes out. Actually, by 7 months, I should say like 20 years because it's never coming out. I didn't even. Yeah, I've never played Crash 4. Honest, Crash Bandicoot 1, the original, is a huge pain in the ass. I beat that game a few years ago because it was the game I got near to the end and could never beat. I finally beat it. Pain in the ass. Mostly because of the joystick. Like, there's no joystick controls. You have to use the D pad. And that just kind of is what it is. Ugh, excuse me. But that was not fun. Have I played Callisto Protocol? No, it did not get very good reviews when it came out, so I skipped it, and I'll get to it one day. Today's not that day, though. When I want to play through, like, that kind of game, I'm probably going to continue to catch up on Resident Evil. Because I still need to do Resident Evil 0, Resident Evil 8, Resident Evil 2 Remake, Resident Evil 3 Remake. I think that's it, though. But that's going to take a little bit. That's a little bit of an investment. See you guys shortly. Take me to your Xbox to play Fortnite today. I have a ton of like Tomb Raider games. Some of them are the old ones, like the OG ones that are going to be really not fun to play. But some of them are the newer ones that are actually like good. I could play those at some point, but I think yeah, I mean tonight like I said, I'm going to do Spider-Man 2. I'm just going to turn that on and go back into that because we were already in the middle of that. But the next computer game I start is going to be something else. I don't know what. Okay, I think these credits are now approaching the 40-minute mark. I mean, the game's huge, I understand, but goddamn. Thoughts on Grand Theft Auto 6? I mean, we don't have nearly enough information to have any thoughts on it yet, I don't think.
We have no information to speak of. Like,
All we know is that they're making it.
exactly.
Take me to your Xbox to play Fortnite today. That song is like actually good, is the crazy thing. I really want to chug jug with you. We can be pro Fortnite gamers. There's a trailer coming out next month, really. Probably won't be anything meaningful. It'll probably be like, do you guys remember the first trailer for The Dark Knight? It was literally just the Batman logo with assorted audio clips from what would eventually become the movie playing. It'll be like that. The Last of Us show cast a girl that looks more like Ellie for Abby. Huh. So she
Well,
doesn't.
yeah, because unless they're gonna hire someone who's trans, they literally can't fucking hire someone who looks like Abby because the character's supposed to be a woman. Like,
Yeah, that doesn't look like Abby at all. Not even close. What the heck? I mean, not that I'm complaining, but if you're going to cast Abby, cast Abby. Abby is definitely the most attractive me on the Wii, though. So that name has that going for it, even though it now has a negative connotation with gamers.
oh man, I love that.
I mean, don't you think that's a pretty fair take? I just DM'd you something.
I'll be right with you. God.
This dude's name is Guido Zimmerman in the credits. Guido Zimmerman. What the
Guido.
like Guido.
Yeah, Guido.
Guido. That's quite a name.
It means he's Italian. Yuck.
Oh, that means he's got
I know.
a tattoo of the Italian flag on his forehead. Like that is a card carrying Italian right there. Goddamn.
No, don't. That that's almost certainly a fake name because Guido is an ethnic slur towards Italians.
They let you
It's
put
it's
in
not
one.
a super bad one, but you know,
I mean, maybe he just has a very unfortunate first name, and it just is what it is.
like I said, it can be. You know,
Man, this stream has been riveting. Literally, I played the game for 10 minutes, did nothing except walk through a portal and talk to myself. And then I've been watching credits now for coming up on 45 minutes and making fun of names that run past my screen.
seriously.
This person's name is not recorded. One name here, not recorded. What if that's actually somebody's name and he just has like the worst name ever and refuses to change it?
And I looked at Abby's me. It's the one that looks the most like a female of some kind. And
No,
then
that's
Santi
no.
just sent me.
Yeah, no, that's just I'm saying that's the most attractive female me on the default Wii console.
I'll take your word for it. Then Stanny sent me a picture of the actress they have playing Abby, and yeah, she does look a lot more like Ellie. But again, it's because unless it's going to be someone who is trans, you literally cannot have an actual woman look like the character Abby in The
Well,
Last of Us 2.
what if it was Ronda Rousey?
It still wouldn't be because you're all DM.
Yeah, I get it, but you can approximate that with Ronda Rousey.
Right, and it's loading slower than shit. I have no idea why, but I'm also sending a picture of Ronda Rousey, and even though that's like Ronda Rousey at her most muscular, she's still half of Abby's size. Plus, Ronda Rousey is a horrible actress, so it will also be a really bad casting.
Yeah, that is true.
Is like look at that. That is Ronda Rousey at her absolutely most muscular, and she's half Abby's size. But yeah, I seen Ronda Rousey in the body issue, and let me tell you, I'm ugh.
Impressed?
She ain't it, Chief.
Really? I guess I'm not super surprised.
Lamau. Um, she has really nice hair, and when she's wearing, all the right makeup, she can look cute in the face. But for the most part, she just doesn't have a really nice looking body.
How about what do you think of Danica Patrick?
Um, she's like 50, so let me look at some pictures of her being younger. When she was looking for attention, certainly attractive, more attractive than Ronda Rousey.
Man, I can't believe she's almost 50.
Tell me about it.
When this game finally went gold, I'm kind of amazed the planet didn't go into a global economic recession. Like, so many people got laid off after Starfield was done. Looking at this list, like, Jesus Christ.
Unless they're just naming everyone who's ever filed a fucking tax return who worked for Bethesda at some point. Good grief.
Okay, I think we made it. Okay. It's over. I know, Santi, but out of respect to game devs, after I finish a game, I let the credits roll. Okay. So, that was Starfield. There's nothing to do except just quit. The game's just over. They don't try to force some hokey New Game Plus on you. All right, guys, that's it for the Starfield stream. We beat it. We did it. It's over. I got a couple things to do, and then I will be doing Spider-Man pretty shortly here. So if you actually want to see me play a game tonight, then stick around. We'll be doing it soon. See you guys. Thanks for
Woo.
coming out.